Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your ancestors. So please take a deep breath, draw the energy up your spine, and create a clear and open channel. And exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group 1 on the left with saute, jump. Group 2 in the center with en dehors, outside. And group 3 on the right with en l'air, in the air. As always, the timestamps to your readings are listed below in the description box, as well as information about all of the decks used in today's reading and in many others on my channel. This is my ballet oracle, one of the very first ones that I made. It's kind of a rough draft, but you can find it if you're interested. And my graphic tarot, my little follow your heart oracle, my light codes oracle, you all know. And if you're interested in a personal reading with me, whether it is a channeling session, a tarot reading, astrology, astro-synastry, astrocartography, or a Reiki session, you can find all of that below in the description box, as well as my crystal jewelry. I make handmade one-of-a-kind pieces, and right now I am working on meteorites, which I love sending to you guys because it's like a little love letter. It's like the last breath of a dying sun. So anyway, you'll find that and many other spiritual goodies that I have handcrafted for you, books, journals, jewelry, hoodies, fun stuff, in my description box. You'll find it on my store, Etsy at Spiritualistic. And of course, please like, comment, and subscribe. Join my members channel, The Inner Circle. It's $5 a month. My Patreon, it's $5 a month. I post 4 readings every single month, every single week on each individually. So you've got a lot of different energies to choose from if it is your vibe. So with all of that being said, thank you and your ancestors for allowing me to tap in today. I'm excited to see what we unfold. I love you. I'm grateful for you, and I'll see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group 1. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your ancestors, and you selected the first group with the saute jump card. The first thing that I'm getting here is that your ancestors want to let you know that they love you. I'm getting it's like a maternal, matriarchal energy that's coming through. Now, this doesn't feel like one individual of your ancestors, but it does feel like a line of ancestors, a specific one. So this is giving very maternal vibes. They're showing me like Russian dolls, kind of. It's kind of the Russian doll of a particular matriarchal energy in your ancestral line. And they would like to let you know that your life is your own to create. They love you, you are supported, and while you have very also maternal, nurturing energy to you, you love to take care of things, it is up to you what it is that you take care of. They want you to never forget that your freedom of choice is something that they fought really hard for and that they passed down to you. Now, you might not be able to see this so much by looking at their lives, but you will be able to pick apart the ways that each one had their own rebellious nature in ways that gave you the freedoms that you have today in your perhaps physical life or in your mentality. Some of you, your ancestors were immigrants. Others of them, they were rebels. Some of them, they were perhaps activists. And they would like to remind you that it's okay for you to jump. That sometimes calculated risks are important to take. And just because you might be risk aware doesn't mean that you should be risk adverse. Group number 1, your ancestors want to come through and tell you that you are so loved and never to forget that. And they also want to tell you that they're sorry for not leaving you with something better. They're sorry for not being able to do better. But they're grateful that you are in their line because they do watch out for you. They do protect you. They do love you with all that they have. And they will go to bat for you anytime. They're well aware of the hump that you've needed to get over because of your situation in this life. And they want to remind you that your place here is so much more than what your particular heritage or their particular heritage, depending on the ancestors coming through today. Your job here is so much more than the stereotypical social norm of the heritage that they belong to or the one you were brought up in. And they felt this way, and that's why they took a jump. And they can only take so many risks and jumps in their life because they too were risk aware. And they want you to also take bigger jumps than the ones that they did, because if their lives were longer, if they were braver, if they had a foundation that you had, they would also take different risks. Now, they're not saying that you have things better or worse than they did, while to your subjective perspective, it might be true. They would like to remind you that some of the things that they did were not just for them, it was for those that came after them. Perhaps some of them took really, really, really big leaps of faith that they could not undo once they made a certain decision. And it allowed you to be placed where you are. It allowed you to live a higher quality of life. And this was a risk of themselves for you. Not maybe you specifically individually, but essentially what they're saying is that they took big risks, and they don't want that to be something that keeps you stuck and in their paradigm. They took risks so that you can take bigger risks, or that you can take more specific risks, so that you can live your dreams, so that you can take care of and nurture and protect your dreams and your family, whether it's your chosen family or your birth family, or your family is animals and plants, or a job, or spirit. These ancestors want you to know that they see you as all that. I'm hearing all that and a bag of chips. They see you as beautiful, beautiful. And they see as well that you have some magic up your sleeve. And they want to let you know that, yes, this is hereditary, and not to be afraid to use it. You are well aware of some of the stories that never made it to your ears, that are spiritual truths that you have inherited, that you have learned, particularly pertaining to things like spirituality or magic or rebellion, leaps of faith. They want to remind you that everything, including yourself, needs room to breathe. Your plants, your animals, your children, your friends, your family, yourself, everything deserves a little room to breathe. And sometimes, when it is that you catch air, for example, when you jump and you feel that weightless suspension for a moment, when you are perhaps on a plane, traveling somewhere, that feeling of being weightless, that feeling of being in the air, the feeling of the jump, sometimes it can be scary when you are taking the jump, and it can be scary sometimes when you land. But that feeling of being in the air, there's nothing else like it. And so while they don't want you to chase highs, they don't want you to be afraid to access them either, simply because it's safer to have your feet on the ground. Okay, so messages please to group number 1 from your ancestors. Group number 1's ancestors, what would you like to tell them? They want to tell you that there is some sort of treasure that has been left with you or for you. And some of you might not have access to this yet. This is either a mentality, it's a spiritual truth, and for some of you, this is something that's been kept in a lockbox until you turn a certain age or hit a certain milestone. There's something here that is hereditary. It's showing up as an inheritance in some way that they want you to be aware of. Or if you're already aware of this, they want you to know that this comes from them, or that you are reaching the age or the milestone before you experience this. Bless you, Brandy. My dog just sneezed. There is, again, this energy of you taking care of something before it's your turn, or before it's your time, or having more responsibility at a young age or something. And they want to tell you that while this doesn't feel fair, This is you cleaning up things that they could not finish in their lifetimes. And they want to remind you that they are a guide for you, but you're also a guide for them. Bless you again, Brandy. Wow. Because your ancestors are here to support you, but you're also here to support them. You are the literal next generation of their line. You are the most evolved energy that has come through your ancestral line. By definition, you are the next generation. And while there's sometimes some push and pull about each generation judging the next or the last, they want to let you know that you are the version that has evolved. You're the version that has adapted. That is how things work. They adapt over time to changes, and you become stronger over time. That is why you are risk aware but not risk adverse. That is why you allow yourself to see the world. It's why you allow yourself to break these patterns and chains that were imposed upon you. And that's also why you keep yourself grounded in situations where it requires you to nurture, requires you to care, because that's something that maybe either was not given to you or something that was told to you, like conditioned within you, that you had to do. It was your only job. It was the only thing you have to do, or it's the only thing you're good at, or it's what you were made for. There's something here about you being, oh wow, you're so perfect at taking care of things. You're so good at art. You're so good at healing. You're so good at cooking. You're so good at nurturing things. Wow, you have a green thumb. And so because of that, you kind of found your place in life by making sure that as long as you're sustaining that energy, you'll be in the right place. And they want to let you know that you can break free from this. They want to let you know that that is also something that is hereditary, that they passed down to you ancestrally. And that this is something that was imposed upon you way too early. In their lifetimes, they hit a particular milestone. They hit a particular age. The one where whatever this inheritance is, they hit that milestone, or they hit that age, and then they started behaving the way that you've always behaved your whole life. Rather, you were doing this your entire life. You were born to do this. That energy was prevalent in you, in your youth, in your childhood, in your young age, even when you were a baby. It was almost conditioned in you to behave in a way that your ancestors didn't even do until they were older. They had to unlock it with age or with a milestone. They had two distinctly different chapters in life, and this is a luxury that you did not get. And they want to let you know that you are now reaching that same milestone, or that same age, or that same something, or you're about to, that was their big milestone, their big coming of age, their big something. And the reason that they were excited to reach that is also the reason why you might be dreading it. And they want to tell you that they have something in store for you to help make this better, to turn back time. I'm hearing If I Can Turn Back Time. I think that's a song. Not quite sure. Something about turning back time. If they could turn back time, they would allow you to preserve your childhood. They would allow you to preserve your innocence. But also, heavy is the head that wears the crown. That's what they're saying. They are aware that you're a very proactive person and you're a nurturer. There is so much energy that you expend in so many different ways. There's not just one thing that you're good at and so you stick to it and you do it. There are many. There are many things you've needed to learn to be good at. Again, they're alluding to this energy where you did not have like one part of life to focus on this and another part of life to do this. Like perhaps you didn't have an area of life where you were just focused on school, and then one where you're just focused on work, and another one where you're just focused on family, and one where you're focused on friends. You didn't have a segmented life like this. You didn't perhaps have opportunities to go play outside when you were little. You perhaps needed to go to school and work and take care of your family all at the same time your whole life. There's this energy of you never got to experience the sweetness of life in its compartmentalized ways like your ancestors did. And they want to let you know that they wanted to give you the opportunity and the power to live life in your order. And by the time this energy got to you, everything was thrown at you at once because you can. Therefore, it's your right, it's your privilege, so you should, you have to, you must. And that ended up being a bigger burden than they wanted it to ever be for you, and a bigger burden than what they ever could have dealt with on their own or as a group together. I'm hearing whatever this is, it takes a village and you had to do it on your own. And they want to let you know that if you want to take a leap of faith And it really requires some faith. It really requires some delusion. It really requires a little bit of spontaneity. It requires a little bit of guesswork. They want to let you know that you are more than supported. They want to let you know that if you want to focus on one thing at a time, or God forbid, 2 things at a time instead of 50, just because you were trained to do things one way doesn't mean that they don't still have your best interests at heart. It doesn't mean that they don't make mistakes. It just means they did the best that they could with their tools. It just means that they were trying to provide a better life for those that came after them, like you are doing too. You have the same goal in mind, but the way that it looks is a little different, because the way that you are raised, it's a little different. It's with good intention, but never really perfect. Perfect for you. Maybe you might disagree sometimes, but universally perfect for your soul. And it's objectives here. But they want to tell you that you deserve to express yourself, and that's never something they wanted to take away from you. They were trying to give you the opportunity to do this, and because of this, they ended up putting you in tons of situations where you never could express yourself. They want you to know that they love you, they want the best for you, and that they're genuinely sorry about the way that something manifested for you, because you did deserve better. You always did. And they also want you to know that they are at bat for you all of the time. The ways that your life has been misconstrued, their good intentions being distorted or taken a little too far in an extreme way. They want to tell you that if there's someone here, if there's a person that is the reason for this, or a group of people that's the reason for this, they scare the shit out of them. They want to let you know that they haunt these people. They make no mistake in letting these energies know, whether or not they even believe in spiritual connection with ancestors or something. These people cannot look at a picture of their ancestors in the eyes because they know what they did. And if that's not the case, if it was just a matter of circumstance, they want to tell you that this circumstance is something that you might feel very repelled towards, because they infuse this energy of, no, that's not what we meant, that's not what we wanted, into the circumstance, into the situation, into the place. And that might be why you feel like you really need to leave. It might be why you feel like you need to take the long way or the short way, but just end up somewhere that you've never been. And they want to tell you that it's not bad to want to start your life over. It's not bad to want to have the support of a village when you're doing something alone. It's not bad to want to thrive in a place that will allow you to thrive in a way that you want and need. You don't need to make moves out of survival. They were making moves out of survival in order to help you not have to do that. But that pattern got passed down to you. And so they want to tell you that you are the one that cut cords with this survival pattern. And they don't want to see you fall around energies that make you want to sustain this survival pattern, because you're really good at taking care of things. You're really good at nurturing things. You're really good at growing things. And so things, broken birds, they come to you. So plants that are dying, they come to you. So you are not in survival mode anymore, and you have room for, say, a bomb in your life. And so a bomb comes into your life. Your ancestors want to tell you that they love you, they support you, and that this next chapter of your life is the one where you tell everything and everyone around you basically to F off. And they're giggling because there's an energy here where they would never have said that in their day. And they love that you can. There's something here about maybe the location or the culture or the religion or the time that you live in now, where they have freedoms that they never believed you would even have. But there are also burdens that you have that they never believed you would have either. And so they want to tell you that they've got your back. They want to tell you that they want to see that twinkle in your eye again. They want to tell you that their entire intention with sheltering you or putting you or sheltering those that came before you or sheltering them or putting them in a particular place. The entire reason for that was to protect them until something passed, and then they could be free. But eventually, even though the cage that bird was in, those birds were in, even though the door of that cage opened, the birds still stayed in the cage because that's what they were used to generation after generation after generation. And they want to let you know that it's not wrong that you saw that door and said, why is nobody flying? Why is nobody seeing what's out there? Because that was the whole reason why they put you in that cage. It wasn't ever to put you in a cage. It was to let you wait. You're showing me someone like sitting in a hallway or a basement during a tornado or hiding under a desk during an earthquake. They were simply protecting you. They didn't mean for several generations to stay under that desk. They didn't mean for several generations to stay in that basement. They wanted rather that storm to pass so that you could see the world, so that you could have freedom. And the fact that you have that freedom means that you get to choose what you do with it. Not that those that came before you, who might still be here, decided for you and made you never get a choice because you had the freedom. They want to tell you that you know certain things were not fair to you. They want to tell you that you dang deserve to keep taking leaps of faith, keep taking those risks. And they want to tell you that you were born into this bloodline for a reason. They love you every single day. They help you connect with your emotions. And a lot of what you feel that might be inexplicable, it's how they're feeling, and it's how they're feeling about you. You might not know how compassionate they feel towards you. You might not know that they actually feel really bad for you sometimes. And it's not because your life deserves to be a pity party. It's not because of anything crazy or bad like that. It's just simply that the whole reason why they did what they did was so that you could fly free. And they see that because of that, because you were maybe the first generation that would have gotten to actually fly, the first thing that happened was your wings got clipped out of jealousy. Or you were kept in survival mode. Or the second that you finally decided to fly out of that cage, a bird with a broken wing came in and you just so happened to be the one with the healer archetype embodiment. Divine timing happened a long time ago for you, group number 1. And your ancestors want to tell you that if you make big moves in your life, they're showing me in chess. We have 2 kings and the emperor here. You might be inclined to move the pawns. And what they want you to do is move the king. They want you to take those risks. They want you to take bigger, bolder, more permanent steps. Because you are used to a chess setup where you were the king, but at the beginning of the game, everything was already set up at checkmate against your favor. And there's nothing that could have been done, not by you. So, they want to tell you that the next time you see a chessboard, don't be afraid to move the king because you know what it feels like not to. The next time you have an opportunity to heal the broken bird, well, you're not the only one in that cage. Fly free. There will always be another opportunity to heal someone. There will always be another opportunity to be kind and empathetic and compassionate. But towards yourself, it's either now or never. And it has been now or never for a long time. Your ancestors want to tell you that you deserve to be happy and comfortable and abundant in your definition of that. And they see that even still today, your definition of that is partially what was taught to you. There's this energy of not wanting to be like those that came before you because it totally ruined what could have been freedom for you. It's almost as if there's this energy coming through about like someone before you borrowing your freedom, borrowing your energy, borrowing your abundance. It's kind of like taking like a line of credit, kind of like taking a line of credit off of your freedom, taking a line of credit off of your time, a line of credit off of your money. It's kind of like someone who, just as an example, I'm not saying this is what your situation is, but the way that they're showing me this energy, it's like someone before you, like buying a house, but they put the mortgage under your name, like the generation after. It's like someone having debt that gets passed down in family. It's someone who, instead of maybe saving for college for you, they went and bought a bunch of designer, and now you're in debt for college and for the designer. Maybe they lied to you. There's something like this where it's like you have felt like you were in debt towards some sort of oppression. And the whole reason that this was possible was because of the freedoms your ancestors tried to give you. And so what they want you to do is remember the freedom, remember the risk, remember the guts that they needed to have and that they're encouraging you to have. They want you to focus less on your circumstances and taking care of them and taking care of things that are not yourself, and focus more on that which is outside of you. Not in a spiritual way, not looking at what's outside of you versus what's inside of you, but looking at not your current circumstances, but not being afraid to take that risk, not letting your current circumstances hold you back, taking a risk to get out of your circumstances, and then who cares what happens next? Have fun, be free, fly free. That is what they wish. They imagined you, your life, your generation, being one that could shoot for the sky because the sky is the limit. They thought that for you, the sky wouldn't even be the limit. You'd be orbiting the Earth in a rocket ship. But instead, you were kept in a cage. And that's not what they wanted. And so they want to come through with, I'm hearing the word atonement really deeply. They want you to know that you're sacred. Your energy is sacred. Your blessings are sacred. Your energy is very, very sacred. It's royal. And it is not something that deserves to be passed around. It is something that deserves to be protected. And that is exactly what they were doing. But if you have a chessboard and a king, it seems as though the wrong team was protecting the king and it put you in checkmate, instead of the king being protected. So that never happened in the first place. They want to remind you that you can't change the colors on a chessboard. But what you can do is remember that you're the king. What you can do is stand in your power. What you can do is get up from that chess table and go live your life. And the survivalism energy that comes from your circumstances that were passed down to you, you don't deserve to emanate them any longer. You can literally get up and walk away. It might be the hardest, riskiest thing you do in this life, but they want to tell you that they're there and they know exactly what that feels like. Because they gave you certain tools, because they gave you certain freedoms, you can do bigger, better, riskier than they did. And they know how scary that feels, especially if you're kept in a cage, because they weren't, and they were scared to take their risks. But you can take bigger risks, you can have a freer life, you can do bigger, better, bolder things than they ever could. It just kind of takes a bigger leap for you. Don't be afraid to feel weightless. Don't be afraid to fly. You deserve to fly and for the wind to support you, not the other way around. Let's pull some oracle cards to close this out. Ancestors of group number 1, what would you like to share with them today? They're letting me know this is what you're learning. This is what you are learning. Okay. We've got cleanse your energy. Okay. You are learning to, okay, I don't want to say cleanse your energy in like the very stereotypical spiritual way, like, oh, I'm charged, I'm cleansed, like we do with crystals. It's kind of a little bit of this energy of cleanse your conditioning. Cleanse your conditioning. Archangels and numerology, your guardian angels are all over you, okay? They're all around you. I'm also getting a look out for the numbers 777 and 369 and things like we've got 21 coming out here. Okay, we've got 7, 21, things like this. Behind the scenes, again, they're alluding to some sort of inheritance that they have for you. And what this is that you're learning with the door is opening. Behind the scenes, the door is opening. They're saying that's a sentence. We have archangels and numerology equals. Behind the scenes, the door is opening. So cleanse your energy. What you're learning is that you don't have to do everything alone. Although that might not be what you were taught. That's not how your ancestors feel. Although that might have been the message that was accidentally passed along. They're showing me someone playing telephone. You know, you whisper in a couple people's ears, and by the time it gets to the third, fourth, fifth person, the message is totally different. You are learning right now that the learning curve, it's pretty big. Especially for you. And you have enough information, you have enough resources, believe it or not, you have enough tools, believe it or not, you have enough knowledge, believe it or not, to leave all of that behind and carry on the legacy that was their intention. Not just whatever it is that kind of ended up happening. You're learning that you are like an archetypal nurturer. You are an archetypal healer. You're an archetypal caregiver in some way. And that sometimes that is the energy with the most power. Like the Empress. And that is what you're learning right now. Because you might have been taught that the caregiver has power, the power over you. And that's a bad thing because they will misuse it and abuse it. And so you're a caregiver that doesn't want to do the same, clearly. But they want to remind you that with power comes responsibility and that you are responsible. You're a caregiver and you're responsible. So let yourself be in your power. Let yourself go through that open door. Take a leap of faith. Don't be risk adverse. They are supporting you. Do it for them. Do it for those after you. But most importantly, they want to emphasize this, do it for you. Okay, group 1, this was your channeled message from your ancestors. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. And as always, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. I love you. I'm grateful for you. I would really be appreciative if you like this video. Drop a comment about how this resonated with you. And what would be that risk you would take? What would be that leap of faith that you would take if you knew you would be successful? Drop that in the comments below. And of course, if you subscribe to my channel, join my Inner Circle channel and my Patreon, it would mean the world to me, help me out a lot, and don't forget to check out my store where you can find all of these decks and more personal sessions with me and lots of fun little spiritual tools and goodies that will assist you on your journey. So thank you for being here. I love you. I'm grateful for you, and I will see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 2. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your ancestors, and you selected the second group with the En dehors outside card. Your ancestors are really, really proud to have you in their ancestral line. You have broken a lot of chains. You have slayed a lot of demons. You have grown so much more than they expected you to, or anyone so early in the generational line. And you also bring honor to your ancestral name. Group number 2, you might be the first one in your family line to do something. Like you might be the first one to go to college. You might be the first one not to go to university. You might be the first one to start a business. You might be the first one to have a successful career. You might be the first one to be childless or unmarried. You might be the first one to have a child or be married or something like this. This is going to be very obviously unique for you, but Your ancestors are saying thank you for bringing honor to their name. Thank you for setting things right. Thank you for breaking those patterns that they instilled. And thank you for not being a sheep. Thank you for not following the flow. And also, they want to let you know that they see you not allowing other people's ancestral junk to get dumped on you either. For example, you are very respectful of other cultures, of other people, of other places. You're very global. You're very respectful of everything and everyone around you all of the time. But that also does not mean that you are allowing yourself to get hooked into other people's ancestral crap. You've worked so hard to liberate yourself from your own. And so you're able to identify ancestral toxic patterns miles and miles away. Your ancestors want to tell you that sometimes you feel like an outsider, but this is a good thing. You're not supposed to be like everybody else, and most everybody else doesn't do the work anyway. Most of the cycle breakers are just moving an inch ahead, and the cycle breaker after that will move another inch. You have, with flying colors, broken every single ancestral karma that was left in your line. So of course, group number 2, you're different. Of course, group number 2, you are sometimes uncomfortable with allowing yourself to be gifted things or experience beautiful things because you were taught that perhaps you were not supposed to have good things, or maybe you were punished for experiencing positive things and awarded for experiencing negativity. Group number 2, the way that you feel is valid, and your ancestors also want to tell you that they're proud of you for breaking their ties and chains. They're proud of you for disassociating with the toxins that you inherited from them, that they passed down to you. And they also want to tell you that where you are now is not where you're going to be forever. There seem to be some things that you cannot say out loud, especially not to those in the same ancestral line as you. And they want to let you know that you will find your true family. You will find those that resonate with you in this life, in human bodies, while you are here. And not to ever forget who you are. You have a unique blueprint, you have a unique thumbprint, you are unique, and your ancestral line is not who you are. You are well aware that it is unhealthy to over-identify with any one aspect of yourself, whether it be where you're from, whether it be any aspect about you at all. It is not healthy to over-identify with any nationality, with any heritage, with any color, with any sexuality, with any hobby, even with any chakra, with any one particular vibe. It's unhealthy to over-identify or over-associate with something because it washes you away and adds pride towards something that is already out of balance. And group number 2, your ancestors want to tell you that you are very well aware of the fact that you are in balance. And I'm hearing you will be damned to let anything throw you off. Your ancestors are not messing around when it comes to you. They hear the whispers about you behind your back, and they nip it in the bud immediately. Your ancestors see those around you with poor intentions towards you, and they give you dreams about the truth of these people, and they also give these people really difficult times every time they have a negative thought pertaining to you. But these people are not so bright that they understand what's going on. But you pick up messages basically before they even hit send. You break the patterns basically the same moment you realize they're there. And group number 2, you have completed liberating your ancestral line. This is why you will not step out of balance. Because if you choose to carry forward generations after you, they will get to create their own legacy, healthy or not, but you will have provided them with a clean, blank slate. Your ancestors want to remind you that it is your choice if you choose to carry on this ancestral line. They want to let you know that no culture, no pressure, no person, no family, no society can force otherwise upon you. And they also want to tell you that they entirely understand if it is not about your life and not wanting to bring something forward or care for something or someone. If you don't want to carry on the legacy of that ancestral line, if you want to stop those genetics from continuing on Earth, that is your right. Your ancestors are aware that lack of diligence, lack of responsibility on the parts of others has created a lot of burden for you. This included lack of self-awareness, lack of awareness of what is going on, lack of awareness of the repercussions of their actions, and lack of awareness of the human beings that they are sending out into the earth, lack of awareness about the ways that one inherently is before they create a human being and bring it into the world. Lack of awareness is a poison that creates delusion, illusion, toxicity, and wounds. Your ancestors want to tell you that they understand if you choose not to carry forward their ancestral line. But they also want to make sure that you don't feel like you need to take so much responsibility, because most other people don't. You don't have to carry the burdens of what other people refuse to carry, whether that's responsibility, whether that's love, whether that's healing, whether that's spiritual work, whether it's humanitarianism. It's not your job to carry the burdens of others. Everything in this universe is intentional. And you did not come here with karmic soul patterns of your own. You were instead placed into an ancestral line where a soul without karma had to deal with a lot of ancestral crap. Therefore, when you have broken this, now that you have, it is your time to choose what you want to do with the rest of your life, for it is fleeting and it is an illusion anyway. You can easily wake up out of this life the way you wake up into this life from your dreams. And because of this, your consciousness will be outside of your physical vessel for the rest of your life. This is not to say you're not aware of your body, it's quite the opposite. It means you're most aware of your body. You're most aware of the fact that you are not your body, you are not your mind, and this world, this experience isn't even real, it's not even true. And so when you see others around you that do not know how to behave, and they would rather project their ancestral wounds onto you when you're not even from that ancestral line, behave in sovereignty the way that you always do, and don't be afraid to kick some butt, is what they're saying. Group number 2, your ancestors have actually accommodated an offer for you that's going to be showing up, I'm hearing, later today or later this week, depending on the individual watching this. So in the next, I'll say 12 hours to 7 days, I know that's an interesting timeline they're giving, you will be invited to something and given an offer, and you're meant to accept the offer. This is something that's going to surprise you. It might be outside of your realm of expertise, it might be outside of your comfort zone a little bit, but you'll feel a little birdie inside of you telling you, yeah, sounds fun. So what you're being encouraged to do is trust in your intellect, trust in your communication skills, and trust in the fact that you are an outsider for a reason. Because if you were an insider, you would be filled with toxins, with parasites, with wounds. And when expelling these, you would simply bleed them onto others. This is not who you are. This is not your nature in this world. You are not a poison. You are a medicine. And because of this, your ancestors want to remind you that the plant that is a medicine, the earth medicine, it can heal the things that earth provides. Earth diseases can be healed by earth medicines, but human diseases are healed by human medicines. This is why, group number 2, you are an earth medicine. You are a spirit medicine. But if one is choosing their own destruction, if they're choosing their own demise, if they're choosing to poison themselves and expect others to get sick, there's no need attempting to be the medicine here. You're not even the kind of medicine that they seek. And these individuals do not wish to take this medicine. You have people around you who love you, who cheer you on from afar, and your ancestors want you to know that some of your ancestors are on the spirit team of somebody else that you know. in this life, physically. And that they will soon realize that it is your ancestors that are some of the most powerful spirit guides on their team. And when they realize this, they will see you with a new light, a newfound respect, and they will no longer enjoy putting you on the outside. They see your skill, they see your truth, they see your ability, they see your sovereignty, they see your abilities. And yet, for some reason, they feel a need to alienate you. Well, this is why. Because you are a walking inheritance of their strongest spirit guide. The trick up their sleeve runs in your blood. Your ancestors want you to know, group number 2, that you're being called to say yes to some of the more interesting and extraneous things that come your way. They also want you to know that the time is now for you to express yourself and for you to stand in your power. They have a message for you that if there's something that you read, watch, listen to, hear, or experience that has you stand in your power, they're encouraging you to open that book, watch that movie, dive into that series, listen to that audio, whatever it is. Because that energy is going to be an important blueprint for you to kind of just file front a little bit more than it currently is throughout this next chapter for you. Your ancestors want to tell you, group number 2, that you are loved the way that you are. You are perfect the way that you are, and they're not saying this because everything is perfectly imperfect. They're saying this because you've done the work. You crossed the T's, you dotted the I's, you have a good foundation, you're a good person, mind, body, spirit. You admit when you're wrong and you do better. And then after you do better, you do even better. And you have turned this into perfection. You have fully transmuted your being, your consciousness, your body. You are in tip-top shape, so much so you are a medicine. You are a medicine. You hold miraculous properties to you, and do not forget your magic. Messages to group number 2 from your ancestors, group number 2's ancestors, transformation. Things are about to change for you in a huge way. Someone's been thinking about you a lot, and they're thinking about the way that they did not devote themselves to you in the way that they should have. They did not honor you in the way that they should have. They were not capable, and so they did not try. And they're also aware of the fact that they watched you get hurt by those that they enabled in some way, shape, or form. Why is this coming up? Ancestors, group number 2, message. You're very, very, very psychic, so it almost doesn't matter if your ancestors are sending you these messages. This is more of a formality. You're very, very, very psychic, so it doesn't matter if you're connecting with this person because you already know these things. I'm not going to be able to tell you anything in this reading that you don't already know, but sometimes we need to hear them from a physical, grounded source, because sometimes your intuition can be so strong and your physical reality hasn't caught up yet that even though you know to trust your intuition, you might look for just confirmation for something or someone that can actually literally understand what it is that you're going through, understand your state of consciousness, understand how much you've actually truly evolved without projecting insecurities or projecting their own wounds and bleeding onto you or even onto your reading. Your ancestors want you to know that there's a reason why most readings don't resonate with you. There's a reason why you are very, very individual. And there's a reason why you have mastered certain things so easily, so early, that other people have a difficult time even dipping their toe in. And for some reason, dipping their toe into this energy gives them some sort of huge accolade, when in reality, you've mastered this lifetimes ago. You were born into this life as a master of this. It's something you do every day. You're very natural at it. You're the best. You're the best in the world at something. You're the first in the world at something. You are the leading expert in a field of something. And your ancestors want to tell you that on top of this, there's no karma for you to clear. Some of you were born with no karma. Others of you have finished clearing the rest of your karma. You have fully had the chance to leave your body and chose to stay. I'm hearing for the lulz, which is funny. You are a lot more evolved than others can fathom. You're a lot more evolved than those around you can perceive to be possible. And I'm hearing a conversation I had with someone one time when I said, oh yeah, well, once you heal your inner child, and they go, you don't heal your inner child, no one heals their inner child. If you think you have a healed inner child, that means your inner child isn't healed, because no healed inner child would say that you can heal your inner child, because you can't heal, because it was just this whole projection. And I said, okay. And I breathe. And there's this energy like this that's coming forward. It's clear. Your ancestors want you to know that you're beautiful. Your energy, it is like the fountain of youth. Your spirit, it is a gold mine. It is the fountain of youth. You're very much aware of how rare and valuable your energy is. Again, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. I'm just telling you what you need to hear with your physical human ears sometimes in order to align certain things together. Because it's hard doing all of the internal work and then permeating this forward, and it being seen by eyes that don't see you, being heard by ears that can't hear you, being misunderstood by brains that can't understand you. I said a little birdie told me earlier, and a little birdie just flew in front of my window, and as soon as I drew awareness to it, it flew away. You're also aware of the law of detachment, the way that this works. It is not when you write down your manifestation that it comes in, it's when you write down your manifestation and either forget about it, or bury it, or burn it. It is not that it comes in. It is not when you think about that person that they text you. It is when you think about that person and then you forget it, or you detach from it, that person texts you. It is not. However, use that as the example that applies to you spiritually. That is just what is coming out here. You are very well aware that when it is that you detach from something, that is when it comes in. But you've been detached from everything for years. I'm hearing for eons, for some of you for lifetimes. And this has you having a higher perspective. This has you on the outside looking in. You have brought honor to your ancestors, past and future. And you are going to be told of, your stories are going to be told for generations to come. Which, yes, there will be generations to come. Through you is your choice, unless you already have. But your story will be told for generations to come. About the family you create, or the family that you will create through you, or the family that you have around you, or the family that you create through friends and family and plants and animals and spirits. You are an anomaly. You are like the fountain of youth. They keep showing me this, the fountain of youth. You are a myth. You are a legend. You are regal. You are one of a kind. You are something that everyone hopes for and many don't even believe. You are truth. Because if something that beautiful really existed, wouldn't it be everywhere for everyone all at once? Wouldn't it be mass produced and marketed? Wouldn't it be on the inside and not on the outside? And that's exactly why it's hidden. Your ancestors want to remind you. Wheel of Fortune at the back of the deck. They want you to know that your transformation has not been for anything, has not been for nothing, and of course you know this. You transform for transformation's sake. You bleed for bleeding's sake. You devote yourself for devotion's sake. You are spiritual for spirituality's sake. You do not have ulterior motives in this life or the next or the last or anything, because simply you are fulfilled. You have found your peace a long time ago and you devote yourself to this. And because of this, you find that in the things that were your wounds, you of course find the light through these wounds, and now all you have is light. You are a light body. You embody this light body, and with your ancestors, they see the ways that you wish to re-walk old energetic patterns and seed this light there. For example, there's a place that you used to go to when you were a child, or there's a place that your family loves, or there's a place that your ancestors were reminded of. It doesn't have to be a place, it's just what's coming up. There's an energy here, a book that everyone in your family has read, a school that everyone in your family has gone to. It's like you want to walk these steps, not because you want to follow that pattern, but because you want to neutralize the energy. It's like when you walk around and you smoke cleanse your space, or when you place a selenite on a chakra to clear it. It's like you want to do this. They want to let you know that this is sweet and you don't have to do this. The liberation has already come from your breaking these patterns, breaking these chains. There is nothing more that you can offer your ancestral line than you already have. You are the one who writes the rules now. You are the one whose fulfillment is important now. You are the main character of your ancestral line, and you will be for generations to come. Some of you are working on building generational wealth. This will come sooner rather than later. And there's something here about this that is hidden. They're showing me energy, like being stuffy in the nose. Like I noticed my soft palate kind of like constricted a little bit. So the soft palate on the roof of the mouth here, and it affected like my nose and my breathing. So work on your breathing. Some of you circular breathing. There's something about the flow, something about circular motions. You know, sometimes finances and water, they're compared, the flow, like air and water. That transition between air and water, the elements, some of you vata and kapha are really significant for you at this point in time. Your ancestors want you to know that there's nothing more that you need to know. But if you'd like to hear it, your happiness is around the corner. Continue to be yourself. Express yourself authentically. Move when you feel called to move. Go where you feel called to go. You're not meant to stay small, and you're not meant to just dream for no reason. Your dreams are not an escapist illusion. They're not a lack of reality. They're not unattainable. Your dreams are divinely guided. You are allowed to make bigger, bolder moves. You are allowed to detach from the things that to others, detaching from them are unthinkable. Because you see beyond this realm of illusion. You have evolved more than the evolved souls on this earth. And those in other dimensions. And group number 2, you are the medicine that requires determination to access. And even that medicine has its own sovereignty. You, group number 2, you ask permission before you hug a tree. Group number 2, you ask for consent before you give your friend a hug. You ask for consent before you pick a flower or a fruit or a berry or pick up a tree stick or a leaf from the ground. And just as you are this fountain of youth, just as you are this medicine, your ancestors want to remind you that it is your consent that will change the world. It is what you allow, the rules that you write. I'm hearing the song Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. These are the things that will create your legacy, not as though you haven't already created one. Your ancestors have no notes for you. They wish to motivate you. They wish for you to feel more calm. They wish for you to feel peace about the fact that you feel peace. They wish for you to feel not guilty about the fact that you feel happy. Not that most of you do, but they wanted to mention it anyway. They want you to feel detached from the things that you feel detached from without feeling the need to pretend to attach to them for whatever reason, people included. And to remember that just because you are the cure doesn't mean there's enough of you to go around. And it doesn't mean that your life purpose is to be used in that way either. It just so happens that dandelions are anti-inflammatory. It just so happens that crows always come bearing good news, magic, and truths beyond the veil. And isn't it a coincidence that those who see you as medicine don't ask for your permission? Or they try to convince you that you're not what you say you are, even though it's visible? Isn't it curious that people pick out the dandelions from their yard when they only grow when they would be helpful to the environment? And isn't it interesting how crows are called the bringer of death when in reality they're the bearer of good news and magic? but we can't go there. Your ancestors are proud of you. They love you. They watch you. They fight for you. Not that you need it. You can stand on your own 2 feet better than they ever could. And they want to tell you that you are, in fact, a pearl. You are a needle in a haystack. You are the fountain of youth. In fact, you are much rarer. Because there are not yet myths, stories, and legends about you. Not in this life, anyway. I feel called to close out this reading now, but for group 1, I did pull a few oracles from Follow Your Heart Oracle deck, so we'll see what comes out. Group number 2's ancestors. Do you have a message for group number 2? They're saying how we can help. Okay. Which is understandable given this reading. Okay. How we can help. Okay. Saying take these 2, the top and the bottom. Okay. Reading auras. Yeah, okay. They can, get the job done in areas where it's not your responsibility, but it's still affecting you in some way. They can assist you in your sovereignty in ways where you see through reality, but it's difficult sometimes, or can be difficult sometimes to not honor this or know this, but sometimes behave in this way when it seems as though the system built around you is something different. Again, they're alluding back to the beginning message of how it's not good to over-identify with any particular characteristic at all whatsoever. They can assist you in clearing the space for you to follow your heart when you know what it is. They're saying they will come to you or lead the way with birds, dragonflies, and bumblebees. And they can help in ways where they're saying you have your own language with them, or they have ways of communicating with you that you understand and others don't. Or there are signs that you see that aren't like known to be signs, like it's not an animal or an angel number. It's actually like you can see beyond the realm of illusion. So it's not just when things are popping out of the bubble that you're able to identify them. So they're communicating with you, like they're drawing in everything is a sign, everything is a synchronicity, nothing is not a sign, nothing is not a synchronicity, everything is intentional. And your ancestors want to tell you that it's okay for you to ground yourself and trust that the universe will connect with you as deeply and as intricately as it does in your deepest meditation. This is not to negate your meditation or telling you not to do this. They are saying that they don't feel wise enough to give you spiritual guidance because your consciousness has evolved beyond theirs. But they do want to let you know that in the spiritual realms or in the angelic realms or in the ancestral paradigm realm, they want you to know that they can help you. They're saying, I'm hearing someone go up to someone who's bothering you and being like, pick on someone your own size, like things like that, which is kind of a little weird, but they can help kind of de-center some of the unjust audacity around you. They can help you communicate your truth through action and spirituality by clearing the path ahead according to your will and your knowledge, your truth. They can help you move forward when you're following your heart by, again, they're alluding to kind of decentering energies or people around you that don't have your best interest at heart or don't know how to handle you, even if they want to pretend to have your best interest at heart. And they're saying that they're always in your ear if you want them to, if they can. They also want to remind you that you are the master of their line. So there aren't many of them that can help you where you are, but they also want to draw awareness to, but those in your ancestral line are some of the strongest spirit guides that some of the people around you even have or know exist. But that runs in your blood. I don't know, it's giving Harry Potter for some reason. They're showing me the lightning bolt like scar on his forehead. So, they also want to tell you, okay, that they can assist you with sound. So, for example, if you speak and you want some of their voices to come through your voice, they can do that. If you want to use one of their words in order to verbalize something, they can do that. If you want to sing and allow ancestral energy to come through you, you can do that. I'm hearing like chanting, ancestral chanting, healing, can just be singing. I'm hearing like siren songs or something like this. It doesn't have to be, of course. And they can also assist you in something tangible like a business or taxes or something that is kind of very structured and matrixy and very linear in a way where there's a pre-built system that negates spirituality. They can help you through that. They can help you, they're saying they can help you out with the rat race. That's what they can help you out with. Okay. So group number 2, that is your channeled message from your ancestors. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. And as always, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. I'm grateful for you. I love you. And I will see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 3. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your ancestors, and you selected the 3rd group with En l'air, in the air. Immediately I'm getting there's change in the wind, there's change in the air. Something big is changing in your ancestral line and in the collective. Group number 3, your ancestors want you to know that you are strong, you have seen enough, and that you are strong enough to carry the burdens of yourself and thousands of others on your back. It's not your responsibility. You're not meant to carry the burdens of others on your back, but you can be, in some way, shape, or form, some sort of role model, inspiration, leader. You're very much aware that you have made it out alive of certain situations that other people don't, or don't know how to. They don't know what to do. You understand because you were once in this place. Your ancestors want to let you know that they would be honored if you would carry on their legacy by allowing yourself to shoulder some of these things. This is not because they're inviting you into uncomfortable situations. You've experienced your fair share. But the fact that you're able to get through these uncomfortable situations, grow and evolve and become a better version of you and leave the world a little better than you found it is something that they would be honored to share and support in your journey, if you so choose. You're feeling this energy of change that is going on within you and within the world right now. And when it comes to your consciousness, you are able to see through the difficulty, you're able to see through the burden, you're able to see through the wars, the trials, the bloodshed, the difficulties, the pains, and they're not meaning to draw a vulgar reading forward today, but they are meaning to say that you have the sight to see through it. You had the sight to see through it, and you can also help others have the sight to see through it. And this doesn't mean that you necessarily can hold a telescope to the end of the consciousness tunnel for all beings, but you can leave it there. So that someone who needs a step to that next spot, someone who can't see through their situation, can't see through where they are, can't see through that pattern, can't see beyond all that they've known, or those who are 99% of the way there and they need that nudge, they need that reassurance, they need that anchor. You can be that. Your ancestors are saying that it is not your responsibility to carry this on your shoulders, but you and a lot of your ancestors have dealt with some of the same type of struggle or restriction or oppression that they want to draw to your awareness. There's something that has been going on for generations and millennia, and this is an earth problem. This is not a you problem. Group number 3, your spiritual ancestors are coming through this reading as well as your physical ancestors. Your physical ancestors are holding a light to you and your genetics, your DNA, and your upbringing. Your spiritual ancestors, they are almost you are the secret weapon. Like, you are the secret hidden tool is what I'm getting. Your spirit intersecting with your physical family line. This group of ancestors that you have, they're very, very strong. They're very, very powerful. And you are a catalyst. You're a catalyst for interconnectivity and unconditional love. You're going to be adorned and recognized for your effort. And while it's not necessary for you to share all that you've been through or all that you're going through, you do still have the tips and tools, the ones that work. The ones that say, I've been there. The ones that say, I wouldn't resonate with you in that situation if I hadn't too been in and got out of that situation. I wouldn't be able to help you. Someone here has been called to write some sort of autobiography. One about your life, one about your soul's journey, one about both. And you're being encouraged to start now. Start strong. And don't be afraid to keep moving along this path because it is meant for you. You are aware right now that things are changing. And as things are changing, certain things have been taken out of your hands, which might be uncomfortable. And in other ways, it might be a relief. Some of the things that are burdening you have been taken out of your hands, and there's some of the things that you want to hold on to because you want and need them. In fact, you would have multiplied it. But sometimes, you're showing me just a good old-fashioned analogy. I'm seeing your ancestors giving you a teddy bear. And they tell you this teddy bear is magic, it's all for you. And you, as the embodiment of a child or a youth, take this teddy bear and you love it, you hold it, you squeeze it. All of a sudden, this teddy bear is taken away from you. And you don't want to let go of the teddy bear. You want to love the teddy bear. And the teddy bear, it has the energy of something important underneath it, so it can be something sentimental. It can also be something that is survival, that's necessary. It can be something like the roof over your head. It can be something like someone you love very much. It can be something like a virtue that you hold very tightly to your chest. This teddy bear gets taken away, but it's taken away so that you can receive a larger teddy bear. One of the really big ones that you as a child would have a hard time even holding in your hands because of its size, in a good way, not in a bad way. And, well, the little teddy bear, they told you it was magical if you believed in it. The big teddy bear, it is magical. It's bigger, it's better, it's higher quality, and it actually is magical. But you believe that there could be a magical teddy bear, so you're not as stunned when this big one enters your life. Your ancestors are aware that, yes, there's a change in the wind, and yes, you are picking up on this. You've been very heavily affected recently by the emotions, the winds, and the whims of those around you. Those that are connected to you, you've been feeling their burdens, you've been feeling their sadness, you've been feeling them in your life as though you are sharing the same heart, the same emotional centers, the same chakras. And while this is not true, you are also aware that part of this change, it is you knowing where the out is, knowing how to transmute this energy, again, because you've done it before, you've been through it. And while some of you might not feel ready to share your story, you are encouraged to share it. Now, this does not need to be in a way that's hyper-personal or shares that which you don't feel comfortable with sharing. But you are being encouraged to honor it and at the very least outline the lessons and the tools and the tips and the tricks. You're already aware what your path is. You're already aware of what you're called to create. And your ancestors want to let you know that there is a reason of this powerful intersection between your physical genealogy, ancestral line, and your spiritual ancestors, those that came before you in your incarnations, your spirit, through its incarnations, as well as the ancestors of all of your incarnations. Group number 3, your ancestors want you to know that there is something within this breeze that you're picking up on. They're showing it to me as though it's pollen that's being carried by the wind. You can't see it, but it's enough to make you sneeze. You know that it's there. Do not worry about removing this, but trust that something is being pollinated and that you will see what is occurring. You're noticing that it's time to pollinate. You're noticing that it's time to move. You're noticing that it's time to globalize, or that it's time to plant. You're noticing that it's time to shift with the gusts of the wind, and your ancestors want you to follow these energies. When there are big gusts of wind, move, don't stay still. When everything is quiet and still, stay quiet and still. When it's bright, you be bright. And when it rains, you cleanse and clear. This happens subconsciously anyway, but you also are aware that the more that this is brought to your conscious awareness, the more intentional you can be with your steps forward. That which occurs to the Earth, the planet, and the collective of those on planet Earth is following the same ebb and flow. But you, group number 3, you are not necessarily embedded in this collective, in consciousness anyway. You will experience the same waves that those do, but you also have consciousness outside of it. Again, you're able to see through. You're able to see straight through. So hold this vision. While others might not be able to see or share it, that does not make them wrong. It does not make you wrong. It simply means that it's important for you to be an anchor. It's important for you to hold this vision. Because while you might feel sometimes like you have to fight for it, it is really the essence of your effortlessness that is the most powerful. This might sometimes sound contradictory because of what you've been through, because of how much effort you needed to put into it. Your energy, your vibration, without even trying, without even thinking about it, on a good day, on a bad day, no matter where it is you're at, you try to be a good person, you try to clean up your energy, you try to ascend and evolve, but group 3, your energy, when you're not even thinking about your energy, it is divine, it is helpful, it is a light, it is a lighthouse amidst a dark, gloomy sea. Your ancestors would like to let you know that it is almost time to go. And pertaining to this, there's going to be someone specifically involved in your path that you'll notice sticks around for a while. It might surprise you. You're showing me things like Timon and Pumbaa in The Lion King, how Simba just kind of joins their club one day. They're showing me in, I guess, action movies or adventure series or something, when people just kind of get thrown, the characters just kind of get thrown together, and then they end up going through things together, and then that is how they bond. There's something here about something just kind of ends up there and then kind of sticks. And this intention here is one where you are realizing that you are one of a kind, and also that your story, your expression, don't worry, even if you're only saying it to one person or one small group of people, you are not falling upon deaf ears. You are saying the right things to the right people, even when you're not thinking about it, even when you're not trying. Your voice, your throat chakra, it is aligned with truth, universal truth. And as you share your truth, it comes out as universal truth. When you share your story, the wisdom comes out through it, even when you're not trying. And your ancestors would like for you to know that there are ancient techniques and remedies that you have access to that also come through in your voice, in your wisdom, and in your mind. Stay open to that which lies before you, and allow yourself to rest and relax and recuperate. Right now, there is change in the air. And when you feel that gust of wind, it is time to move. They're asking me to get into the tarot now. Oh, this is my ballet oracle deck. For those of you who are unfamiliar, they're little ballet terms with their technical translation meaning. Oh, we have the star, beautiful. We're also using my graphic tarot and my Follow Your Heart oracle today for this reading. Messages to group number 3 from their ancestors. Messages, please, from the ancestors of group number 3. All of your wishes are going to come true. On the journey to getting there, you might often question or change your mind about what it is that looks like. Remember that if there are two things that are distinctly opposite from each other, I almost said extinct. if there are two things that are very opposite each other in your life, they're usually connected. Do not worry about the extinction of that path in the middle or of the extinction of one in lieu of the other. Your ancestors want to let you know that you're not going to need to let go of something that you are planning to or thinking you might be forced into. Everything is happening the way that it needs to, the way that it's supposed to. And they want you to remember again how you were as a child, the way that you felt, the way that you handled your emotions, your connection to spirit, to the spiritual realms. I'm being shown, what is his name? The cricket, Conscience from Pinocchio, as well as I'm hearing, a dream is a wish your heart makes. You have a story to tell, and it will enlighten others. And there's also something here about the fact that you can help assist others who need it. Some of you will choose to be hands-on, but most of you, it won't take much physical intervention by your hands on your part. This is something like you share your story and it helps people get out of situations instead of you going situation to situation and helping individuals. Your ancestors want to let you know that a lot of them carry the same burden that you have right now, or that you have experienced, or the ones that you're called to help others with. And as much as you're able to see through even what it is that you want, you notice that no matter how detached you get, certain things just stick. Certain visions that you had before you realized those were things that you wanted. That's how you know that they're meant for you. It's your destiny that you're seeing, not your desires. And so you might see different things, but don't think that they cannot coexist. They are connected, but the center point is you. When you try to find the piece that connects two opposite pieces in your life, it is often time that the piece in the center, it is you. And if you are not aware of how or why or what you're supposed to do, the answer is usually to be yourself. Because it is in being yourself that you fulfill your destiny anyway. By trying to avoid or recreate your destiny, this will be when you learn things the hard way and still ultimately fulfill your destiny anyway. So, your ancestors want to tell you that they wish to speak with you more often. They love you. Some of you, they're asking you to set up an altar for them this season or this year or for an anniversary or a special date. And they're saying, don't forget the light. So don't forget to light a candle. Don't forget your twinkle lights. Don't forget something that lights up, or don't forget to just bring your light, your smile. You're showing me a firefly, so that can be significant. Your ancestors love you very, very much, and they want you to know that they wish that they could help you in the material realm more, but not to forget that they're supporting you as much as they can spiritually and emotionally. I'm hearing group number 3's got this. We don't dare interfere. But what they can do is assist. They can send you gusts of wind that push you a step forward. They can help you see your future vision, even though you're not sure how you're getting there. They can help work with you on the things that frustrate or confuse you. And they want to remind you that your position in your ancestral line, it's very important. As a soul and as a human. You are a symbol of healing, you're a symbol of health, and you're also a symbol of wealth. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. There's a specific ancestor that's coming forward to say, group number 3, make sure you're eating well, don't skip meals. Make sure you're staying hydrated, drink your teas. Make sure that you are washing your feet, washing your face. You just want to take care of yourself. I'm not really seeing anything specific, but I'm getting an apron specifically. And your ancestors also want to tell you that you're meant to move forward towards your destiny. You're not meant to take a step back. You're not supposed to undo. You're not supposed to remedy. You're not supposed to exchange one thing for another or add something else on your plate. You are supposed to rather look back at the rainbows of your childhood imagination and see how in line your vision was then as confirmation of how in line your vision is today. They dare not interfere, but what they can do is speak with you when you are cooking or eating or creating. They want you not to waste money and not to be afraid of spending it. They want you to travel or get on that boat, or something about a sea or a boat or traveling. And they want you not to be afraid to share what it is that you've gained and earned and learned. Because the best teacher also has a teacher, and the worst teacher is not a student. You, group number 3, in some way you have a teacher. This is what qualifies you to teach others. And don't forget that abundance is your birthright, both in your genealogy, ancestral line, and in your spiritual ancestral line. Your ancestors want to deal with you very gently. There's something about this time of the year that's not always the easiest for you. But they want to tell you that there is a truth, a boundary, a vision, or a message that lies underneath it. They want you to appreciate the way that everything around you, it grows. It grows because you're there, and if you weren't there, it wouldn't. They want you to appreciate how you've changed your life and the lives of others because you dove into universal consciousness. They want you to not lose your creativity in sight of something more rational. And they want to see you dance again. They want to hear you sing again. They want to see you play again. They want to see you, they're showing me somebody, specifically what they're showing me is a Chinese medicine doctor where they press the wrist right here and they're able to feel all of the meridians and see what's going on in the organs, the mind, the body, spirit. Some of you, they would like for you to go back to that naturopath or to continue your naturopathic studies or something like this. Your ancestors want to remind you that they're always here for you to talk to you. And they're saying don't forget to speak as much as you listen, and don't forget to listen as much as you speak. And we have 8, 8, 8, 2 and 6, 8, 5 and 3, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 5 8s. Change is coming to your abundance. Change is coming to your sex, death, transformation, shared inheritance, secrets, occultism, spirituality, inner world. Change is coming. There's a change in the wind. And it's going to be one where, on the other side of this, you look back at yourself today and you see a warrior with a gentle heart who's light on their feet. Whereas right now, you might just feel like an airbender or an earthbender. But you will eventually look back and you will see an esteemed warrior who's very light on their feet. Group number 3, your ancestors want you to know that they don't want to let you go. They want to keep talking to you. They could pull out messages for you forever. So this one, for your reading specifically, I would recommend pulling out a journal and connecting with them, channeling with them a little bit, asking them some questions, waiting to receive an answer or something like this, just connecting with them. And there's something here about a picture in a wallet, a picture in a locket, a wallet photo, or I'm hearing the song Genie in a Bottle. Oh, Genie in a bottle, baby. Okay, I can play later. They want you to know that the way that you see your life, you have been seeing things from an upside down perspective. And now it's time to flip right back up. You know how they say, if you want to change your perspective, have a little fun, or see things the way they really are, go upside down. It helps you see things in a good way, in the best way. for your circulation, for your body, for your perspective, for your spirit. Be upside down for 3 minutes a day. In your yoga practice, to do shoulder stands, do headstands, do handstands. Being upside down, it increases your spiritual energy. It increases your feminine energy. It increases your magnetism. Now they're saying, you've been upside down for long enough. You've had that beautiful perspective shooting right through everything. And then you got flipped upside down so that you could see what was within, what was woven within these truths you were seeing. Now, you're coming back upright and you're seeing that the choice was yours, you made the right decision. You're not going to have to release and let go something that your mind was telling you might be logically next. And you're going to feel in your heart much better. You're going to feel that you're not going to need to let things go, but if you choose to release something, it will be because you're gaining something more beautiful. To practice detachment, but not loss. Your ancestors want to tell you that, again, change is in the wind, and you are not alone. And to remember to tell your story, or remember to honor your story, because although you may have done the work, although you're still learning yourself, your wisdom, what you have to offer, can be something that is a gift that keeps on giving. It can be something that helps generations to come. And it can be something that takes a look at this shift in the collective and looks at you and says, group number 3, you went through this already. You succeeded at this already. Tell us, how did you do it? There's a reason why you were ahead of the curve and a late bloomer. There's a global event that is significant. Or for some of you, a local event that is significant. It can be both. It can be a season. It can be a situation. It can be something political or something local. There's something here that you needed to learn first. And then you needed to build during. And now you will be exalted after, because you have seen every perspective. You have completed, succeeded, and evolved. And now you are the one holding the key. Your ancestors want to make sure that you know that they honor you. And again, there is a secret, a truth, or a story that is locked within. Again, you're holding a key that is locked within the intersection of your bloodline ancestry and your spiritual ancestry. I'm hearing you might have been the first, but you will not be the last. And for that we have you to thank. Before we go, I'm going to pull a couple cards for you from my Follow Your Heart Oracle deck here, and we're going to see which messages your ancestors would like you to know. What is the intention for these oracles? What you're going through? Okay, what you're going through currently. So I guess maybe a bird's eye view, we'll see. Okay. Archangels and numerology. I'm hearing you are the bestower of the numerology. It's like you are the one that gives the signs. You're not the one that reads the signs, you're the one that sees the signs. But of course they mentioned as well that the best teacher has a teacher. So you're learning and you're passing down what you've learned. But what you're learning is more advanced than what it is that you're passing down through what you've learned. Earn success. Okay, they want to let you know you're about to have a blessing. Some of you might consider it a miracle on its way for you. And you're picking up on this intuitively. Yeah, bang. You're picking up on this intuitively. You've been very patient. You've been doing a lot of work on yourself. You have been staying calm throughout the storms. You have been regulating yourself through dysregulated environments, weather, people, situations, random things that happen in life. You have stayed regulated. You have stayed balanced. You have stayed patient, loving, kind. And they also want to let you know that when this blessing comes in and it feels like a miracle, remember that which you have given to others and that which you have done for yourself. And look at this and see it as something that you've earned and something that is your birthright. Some ancestors coming through to say that they wish that they left you more, or that they meant to leave you more, but something got in the way. Now they're showing me someone, like the pen being in the wrong hands for something, or the wrong person being given say on something. So they're saying they wish that they would have left you more, or they wish you would have gotten what they left you, because you are the one that would have been the most kind, caring, and responsible with this. Because what you have, again, they're saying, look at the way that everything around you grows. What you have grows and expands and evolves. You do not seek to take, you do not seek to have. You seek to evolve. You don't seek to evolve others, but because you seek to evolve, others evolve. As you know, you are the change that you wish to see. You are the blessing that you wish you could receive. And so when this does come in, and it will be very, very soon, some of you it's coming in like, they're telling me to check my watch. I'm not wearing a watch. Okay. Something is showing up now. And when it does, it's okay to sing. I'm hearing singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain. And I'm getting that movie, the plot of that movie, Singing in the Rain. It's going to lead you towards an evolution that is supported by your ancestors in some way materially. They want you to know that you've earned it. They watched you earn it, some of them. Close up in this world and afar. They're saying you can't master things if you're lazy. And this Eight of Wands, it's staring at me, so... Oh, Eight of Wands, difference in vibration, exploring patience. Okay. Something that you've learned here, I'm hearing like the first teacher of a difficult lesson, or the first situation that showed you how different you really are. You've been waiting to find out who you are, or you've been waiting to find out what was left for you, or you've been waiting to see the way that this plays a part in your larger path, besides leading by example and being healed. The Eight of Wands, we've got the Emperor that peeked out, so it wants to say hello. For some of you, if you resonate with a person in the Emperor, they want to come through and say hello. But ancestors of group number 3, let's clarify this Eight of Wands before we let them go. They're saying no, because you will know what it means soon enough. Okay, Devil. Clear enough. So, any advice? Continue the study. Continue to keep your focus. Focus on yourself more. Let yourself feel your feelings deeply. Don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be afraid to be afraid sometimes. And don't downplay the size and quantity of the blessings that you have worked for and deserve. They're showing me this specularite variation of hematite. This is a hematite here that was used by Native Americans and certain tribes to use it as war paint. If you see, you can kind of like leave a little mark with it. I try not to do that very often because I want to keep it forever, nice and sparkly. But this is used to help with relationships. It's used to help with abundance, and it's also used as war paint. Now, I've never seen sparkly iridescent war paint before. So, there's an energy here to shine. It's like being a sparkly warrior, being an iridescent warrior, being a crystalline warrior. I'm being shown the number 144. Some of that will resonate with you. For others of you, it won't, and that's okay. Keep an eye out for your masters and your mastery. Because if you think that you're alone in your journey, you're not. Your ancestors want to let you know that your teachers, your masters, have worked with your ancestors so that they can help guide you the best. I'm seeing 222, 693, and 55. 77. Okay, group number 3, that is your channeled message from your ancestors. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. And as always, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. I love you. I'm grateful for you. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, you can find tarot, astrology, astrocartography, astrosynastry, channeling sessions, and Reiki sessions in the description box below. You'll be able to find them on Etsy at Spiritualistic, as well as if you're interested in any of the decks used in today's reading, or any handmade goodies that I make, like crystal jewelry and other fun things to help you with your spiritual journey. I'm grateful for you. I love you, and I will see you next time. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and join my Patreon if you're interested in more exclusive content. Namaste.